Taking less does not make you a better person. There's this thing that I like to do with people when I'm working on negotiations where I look to find their set point, their discomfort set point. And the reason why I look for that is because I know that they're hedging themselves. So case in point, today on a call, I was working through a negotiation with somebody and I was like, what about asking for $8,000? And she was like, ooh, I mean, 8,000, okay. And she's kind of processing it. After the call, she sends me this message and she's like, that just seems like a lot. Like I don't actually need the 8,000. And it's starting to feel enormous to her. Everybody has a set point. Everybody has a set point where they're like, they feel like they're asking for too much. Well, here's the deal. If you were to define what a cushy situation would be like or sound like or feel like, almost as fast as you put this down on paper, your brain will literally start to say, well, do you really need that much? Is that really how much you should ask for? How would you justify that? You don't need all of that. And you start to erode your own deal. But you have to push back against that voice and still go for it anyways, because you have to trust yourself to handle the fallout. And what a lot of people do is they hedge themselves south because they feel some moral tie to asking for too much, to being greedy, to being money hungry, to being some other version of virtuous. And they're also afraid of losing the deal. They're afraid of looking ridiculous. They're afraid of how the other person's going to react. They're afraid that they're going to position themselves in a place and the other people are going to gasp. You have to prepare yourself for the gasp. You do. If people aren't gasping, what are we asking for? How we do one thing is how we do a lot of things. So if you aren't comfortable asking for more and being in a plushy, cushy, juicy, cozy situation, you probably are going to be hedging yourself south in things like relationships, what you expect out of a lot of different engagements with a lot of different kinds of people, because you are uncomfortable with having that abundant position. My take on that is that you have to learn how to push against that ceiling. And if you don't want to push the envelope, then you need to be asking yourself the question, what about taking less makes me feel so much more comfortable? And that's where the work is. You're not a better person for taking less. Asking for more and handling the fallout is where the work is done. And allowing yourself to imagine a cushy position shows you where your blind sides are. Hope this helps.